Hello, great people. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, is worried as the Nigerian Senate summoned him over incessant flight cancellation and repeated loss of luggage by passengers. According to reports from the federal agency, as reported by Punch, about 2,000 air passengers lost 19,274 pieces of luggage between January and June this year. Again, about 2,000 air passengers lost 19,274. That can only happen in Nigeria because in other climes, you must not lose your luggage. That luggage, they must fish it out. They must find it wherever it is missing in. But for you to be a Nigerian and you are landing in Nigeria or you are departing from Nigeria, and in the process of it, 2,000 people. Do you know what 2,000 people means? 2,000 within a space of 6 months. And you want to imagine that what is going on. But then things don't get addressed in this country until when it has affected one big man. And I will explain. But first, let me thank the Senate. It's better late than never. Thanks to the Senate for addressing this issue, especially at a time that it is the Yuletide period, which is the Christmas and the New Year, whereby a lot of Nigerians will be returning home. And you can imagine that you've packed your luggage, all your goodies after all your hustle, and you want to give your family, friends, associates, well wishers, and you just land, and some of those things are disappeared. So thanks to the Senate for taking this action at this point in time. Thanks for the summon. Be that as it may, it is likely that this issue has affected one big man because this thing has always happened. It has always happened. I wrote a piece in 2016 about how things in my luggage were missing when I landed in Nigeria. It's like some of those guys at the airport, maybe they just allegedly open bags and just dip hand into it and just take anything that they feel like taking. I don't know. And that's why you don't blame people that wrap their bags. That was very painful at that time because I wasn't expecting it. While I was departing the diaspora, I had, packed my bag. And when I got into Nigeria, all of a sudden, some of the items in my luggage were missing. That was very saddening. Now, one big man, like I said, would have been affected because if a big man is not affected, there's always no change in this country. Change doesn't usually occur, except one big man has been affected. And from the statistics here, 2,000 air passengers, let us look at it. Based on the level of poverty in the country, how many people has the capacity to fly a plane, as in to board a plane at this point in time? If you look at the percentage of people that I know Nigerians are traveling a lot, but the truth is that the percentage have reduced. Most Nigerians that are supposed to go through air will decide to go by road, especially for local flights. Most Nigerians that are traveling 3, 4, 5 times a year will reduce it to 2 times a year. Most Nigerians that go to abroad for holiday will cut the holiday or not even go at all just to save costs because there's hardship in the land. So out of these 2,000 people, it's likely that one big man has been affected because there's always a change when one big man is affected. That's the way Nigeria is structured. And I'll give you an example. While growing up, and even till now, if you look around you, you would have seen that sometimes there won't be electricity except one big man is around, especially you that comes from a village that it is one man that is like the superstar or the most relevant or the most connected person in that village. If that man is not around, there will be no electricity. They'll just be bringing it back and forth, maybe once in a week, once in 2 weeks. They can even afford not to restore the light set. But once that big man is coming, there will be light. What happened is that one big man that has brought a change. Have you lived in a community whereby it's because of one man that is well connected that the roads were tarred? Just one man. That is why you see that when a man gains power from a community, that is when the community will develop. So in Nigeria, government, it is most unlikely that government will not just wake up, especially the semi-urban or rural area, that government will not just wake up and decide to be tying the roads in your community. No, there must be one big man that knows a governor, that knows a commissioner, that knows a minister, that knows who and who before your road can be tied. Now let us go to another thing, which is school repair. Have you not seen it that there are some schools that they won't witness any repair in Nigeria, not until it makes it to the media, and the report of the dilapidation of that school begin to affect the reputation of one big man, whether that man is a governor, whether it's a commissioner for education, whether it is the president or the minister of FCT. Like recently when a school was reported on the media that the level of dilapidation of that school is, heart wrenching. And you will see that instantly government officials will spring to action just to save the reputation of one man. So in this luggage theft, I'm sure that one man must have been affected. Now let me give you an example. You see, when one man is affected in Nigeria, a lot of things usually change. I was at the airport some time ago. This white beard senator from Osun State, I'm trying to recollect his name now. If I remember his name, I'll put it on the screen. That white beard senator from Osun State, he was at the airport, Muritala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. And while he was at the airport, I think it was Arik. Yes, Arik. At that time, maybe they canceled their flight or they delayed their flight. So the man, I think, had some important engagement, and the man was restless. At some point, the man got angry, and he was busy shouting around the airport that Arik, shame. He made a whole drama out of it. He was screaming loud at the airport, Arik, shame, Arik, shame, Arik, shame. Like he was vibrating seriously. If it were to be a poor man, they would have dragged him. You may have watched the video. If you make noise like that, the airport staff will pounce on you. The police at the airport will pounce on you. The aviation authority staff will pounce on you. The DSS will pounce on you. But because the man is a senator, at that point in time, they were even begging the man. They were kneeling, they were prostrating, they were appealing to the man. And I shook my head that particular year that Nigeria, only God can save Nigeria. Because the way the man displayed at the airport that particular day, he was a serving senator then. I remember very well, he was a serving senator. Because he was a serving senator at that time, they gave him the full respect. In fact, at the airport, there are some special seats. Some of you that travel well, you understand what I'm saying? There are some special seats that they create. You know, at Nigerian airport, there's no seat, especially that old one. There's no seat there. You have to stand. There's no provision for seat. I remembered when one of my family was traveling, and he's an old man. He was going to the US to visit one of his children. And the man, about 88 years at the time, was feeling leg pain. And the man had to beckon on one of the police officers that he saw sitting down to collect his seat. You can imagine. So there's no provision whether you are an adult, whether you have an ailment. There's no seat provision in the Muritala Mohammed Airport, especially those old terminal. Before you tender your ticket to go and board to face immigration, though that open all, there's no space for you to sit down. So regardless of your health condition, you are on your own. But the way the senator made a lot of noise that year, Arik was shaking. And I laughed in pity of Nigeria that then in Nigeria, if you don't get money, if you don't get power, forget it. Because I'm just remembering the way the senator was displaying that particular year. So what I can advise you is, this is Yuletide season, and you have also died in the diaspora. And some of you that have stayed in the diaspora or watching me from the diaspora, you know that it's very difficult Surviving in the diaspora is not as easy as Nigerians think. I can tell you that for free. You have to work off for every money you earn. In Nigeria, you can survive without a job. You go to the street, you'll be begging, carry your begging bowl here and there, clinching with people. Anyhow, you will still eat. That is not that's not the case abroad. Before you know it, one person if you don't call police, and before you know it, they will pick you up. So Nigerians are working very hard to make ends meet. So imagine that you now work very hard and you are now returning home. One idiot, one scallywag at the airport will just dip his or her hand inside your luggage and just go away with your hard end also. So we need to be very careful. And what I can advise is that wrap your luggage. Wrap your luggage. You understand? When you are coming to Nigeria, or even if you are leaving Nigeria, before your luggage goes to the plane, make sure you wrap it. As you are tendering your ticket to check in, wrap your luggage. Wrap it. Make sure you wrap it. If you wrap your luggage, that reduces theft. This is what I've tried over the years since 2016. I've always been wrapping my luggage, and since then, I've not lost anything because the way I will even wrap itself with those wrapping line, I usually keep the money separate at the airport. I don't mind the cost. Wrap it for me. So that is what I can advise to. That's what my advice would be to Nigerians as you guys prepare to come to Nigeria for the July season. It's been an interesting time with you on this episode of Politics with Dr. Omoshola Deji. Dr. Deji is a political scientist and public affairs analyst with a PhD in political science, and this is where we relax to analyze politics and happenings in the politics. Do you want to subscribe? Turn on your notification button, catch up with my past videos, and of course, I have great, interesting videos coming your way. Always remember that I love you all sincerely.